Shark fin products will no longer be available in Toronto.
The Toronto Zoo's 3 elephants will find a new home at a California sanctuary. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, October 26, 2011. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Sarah Cresswell. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Matt LaRue. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Sarah has our top story.
Shark fin soup will be crossed off the menu of restaurants in Toronto as part of a ban on all shark products. City Council voted Tuesday to ban the sale, possession, and consumption of shark fins, ending a month-long debate. Council chambers were packed, with even a blow-up shark making an appearance. Many Humber students support the council's decision. Nearly 200 people gathered
outside.
Good thing
because we need sharks in the world. It's good for our ecosystem. I mean, it sucks for people who like shark soup, but in the end of the day, I'd rather have a good ecosystem than have, you know, one meal knocked out of my not regular, but one sort of delicacy meal knocked out of my everyday living. So.
I think it's a really good thing. It's really inhumane the way the sharks are treated when the fins are harvested, and if nobody legally steps in, or physically I guess, no one's going to stop doing it, and the sharks will just be hunted to extinction, and I mean, that's wrong.
Nearly 200 people gathered outside City Hall for the vote, representing both sides. Protesters don't think it's a local issue. Supporters say it's an ethical issue. Fines could reach as high as $100,000 and will go into effect September 2012.
The Toronto Zoo's elephants are moving to California. City councilors voted 31-4 on Tuesday night to move the elephants to a Performing Animal Welfare Society sanctuary. It's an 80-acre facility where Toka, Thika, and Aringa will be able to roam free in warmer weather. The welfare of the elephants has been a growing concern because 7 have died since 1984. Earlier this year, former game show host and well-known animal activist Bob Barker joined the chorus of critics saying the weather in Canada is too cold. The zoo's board of directors wanted the animals moved to an accredited zoo. The possibility that the new location would be situated in another cold city led to the decision to send them to a sanctuary. The move will save the Toronto Zoo more than $600,000 a year.
Despite the wishes of Tory leader Tim Hudak, a progressive Conservative MPP has announced he is running for Speaker. It's a move that would see the balance of power in the legislature shift, leaving the Liberals in opposition tied in 53 seats. MPP Frank Cleese had been offered positions in the PC shadow cabinet, but he turned them down to make his bid for the Speaker's chair. It's not clear whether Cleese would win, as several Liberals are running for the job.
Are you one of those people who still talks and texts while driving? Today marks the 2nd anniversary of when that behavior was banned. Humber News reporter Colin Ellis looked in to see how drivers are faring now.
Ontario's distracted driving law is 2 years old this month, but drivers continue to use their handheld devices on the road. Under the law, drivers are prohibited from using any handheld device while driving, but Police Constable Clint Stibbe says not everyone understands what that means.
You'll have certain individuals that manipulate the phone in some way or fashion that they think is acceptable under the legislation. The legislation actually doesn't even indicate that you have to use the phone. You just have to actually be touching it with your hands, or essentially holding the phone. And that is the offense.
In 2010, there were just over 15,000 charges for distracted driving. Police say the number of offenses are expected to exceed that this year. Constable Stibbe says the problem of distracted driving should be taken seriously.
I actually was at an intersection, actually observed the person on the phone, drove right into another vehicle the whole time. They were actually talking to somebody at their house when it occurred, and they didn't even realize there was a car in front of them. It was almost as if they were daydreaming, you could say. So sadly, it is a big problem. As drivers, we should be driving, not texting. That's why we're on the road.
Although using your handheld device while driving may not seem like a big deal, police say the consequences aren't worth it. Colin Ellis, Humber News.
A 17-year-old boy is in hospital with a stab wound to his leg. A fight reportedly broke out yesterday at a Bloor and Dufferin Avenue area. The boy walked into a school across the street looking for help. School staff immediately called 911. Police have taken a 15-year-old male into custody and say the victim's wounds are not life-threatening.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is recalling a variety of processed fish. There's a risk the fish has been contaminated by botulism, a life-threatening illness. Products from 2 companies with a best before date of December 16, 2011 have been recalled. The 2 companies are Manarich Food Incorporated and Ocean Chinese Food Products. No illnesses have been reported.
Quebec construction unions asked workers to return to work today after they walked off construction sites on Friday. The Wildcat strikers are against the Liberal government's bill, which workers say will weaken unions, resulting in destabilized salaries and working conditions. Reports of collusion and corruption in Quebec's construction industry have been rampant. The bill would prevent intimidation on site and create a list of construction workers based on skill and not their union. Liberal MPPs were threatened by construction workers, including Labour Minister Lise Thériault, who said someone threatened to break her legs, and Gary Ouellette, whose riding office in Laval was smeared with feces.
18 million tons of debris is on its way to the shores of British Columbia. Officials say by 2014, wreckage from the March 11th disaster in Japan will collect on the coastlines of British Columbia. Officials are tracking a Russian training ship, the largest items in the remains in the Pacific Ocean, and say it is right where they predicted it would be. The debris will reach the coast of Hawaii in 2013 before making its way to Canada.
When we come back, we will have more news from around the country and the world. Kathleen Finley will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Tom Katuku.
Coming right up, your complete weather forecast.